Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Phil from Zaid Comics. I am the writer and co-creator of Magic Cop, so you can see in the background over there. And the Lost Pages, which is on Indiegogo right now, is in demand, is rocking and rolling. But today we're back with another episode of a show that I like to call Crossing the Border, where we talk about new campaigns and how the creators of that have kind of like jumped into making these comics, man. So today we got another awesome creator, Richard Embree from Forest Publishing. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on? Always a pleasure to talk to you. Always a pleasure to see you, man.
For sure.
Every time I see you, campaigning your comics, I'm like, yeah, that's a good dude. I wanna support him. I want to retweet him. I want to be around that positivity.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a while doing this. It's been like over a year and a half now since we did Magic Hop, and it's kind of cool all the new people I'm meeting just over that course of time, and just talking to and becoming buddies with people online. It's like the old school days of gaming on like Xbox Live, man,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
you know,
I
hilarious.
compare it to it's like a convention, 24/7. Like
Yeah,
as you would be in like Artist Alley,
yeah,
like Twitter and CG is like 24/7. There's creators, there's customers, there's like when the traffic's down in Artist Alley, you're talking to your neighbor next to you, and the next neighbor on the other side and across the way, and it has that that camaraderie. So when I pitch my book and it gets a sale, I'm like, okay, this guy likes indie comics. I'm gonna hand him off to Phil. Like, hey, you got to check out his book, and then you go on and pitch it, and
yeah,
yeah, everyone. And there's people that just come to Artist Alley because they want indie books. They want books that they can't get anywhere else, and that's
yeah.
where I see a lot of those fans. They're coming to CG because that's where the books are. That's where the quality is, and that's where the good customer service is as well. So it's like a win-win for everyone.
For sure, man. Yeah, I love that aspect to it, and I love getting seeing new projects, getting hit up by people, wanting to show it off, and yeah, we're showing off yours today, man. Now I wanted to talk about kind of like before we get into your book, kind of where you come from. How did you get into writing and writing comics, and what brought you to put out the book that we're talking about today?
So writing, like storytelling, has always been like in the family. I mean, I
Yeah,
remember my grandfather would tell me the same stories over and over, but he would make them so entertaining. And like at his funeral, they said, he passed away when I was pretty young, and they said he was a storyteller, and that kind of stuck with me. I was like, man, I
yeah,
enjoyed that, and I enjoy telling stories as well. And so, fast forward, I'm buying comics, I'm buying Venom, I'm buying Punisher, but like there was no like old school cat to like kind of like school me on how to buy off the shelf, bag them, board them, So I'm just going
yeah.
in like a kid and just buying covers because they look cool, And so I ended up starting to like read Punisher. Then I kind of like faded away because I started getting into hip hop. So
Yeah.
hip hop, I started writing, producing. I started even back in the day. I had a show, they would call it internet radio, which now we call podcast. But there was this place in downtown Santa Ana that had a it was like Broadway and Fourth. They had like a studio in there, and they were just like, you can come in, do a show, and it was like a full studio setup, and they were trying to get people to come in and have commercials and stuff, but what they really wanted was content.
Yeah.
So they gave me the freedom to do a show, so I was able to do some like underground hip hop and stuff, and I was able to get if you're familiar with underground hip hop, I was able to get like Immortal Technique. I was able to get like Kendrick Lamar when he was going by K Dot, so
Awesome.
it was pretty cool, and
Frag is gonna love talking about that.
yeah. Well, I met Frega in California too,
Oh,
so
sweet.
yeah, so it was fun, but like hip hop kind of changed, and I just really didn't have the passion for it. So then I kind of started getting back into comics, reading them, and then I was like, dude, I have this creative itch. I want to find a way to scratch it, and I was like, you know what, I could write a comic, and I start researching it. I start seeing how much artists cost, and that's what kind of led to the last goodbye. Because this comic I wrote in 2013, and so I reached out
Hmm.
to Brian Brindley, the artist, and we got 15 pages in, and he had a family emergency with his wife, and he so with that he had to step away, and then I was like, damn, I liked getting pages in the email. You know, it created a warmness. You know, it's like Christmas. You know, when
Yeah.
you write your page and then you see it come back to you, and it's like, oh man, this is exactly how I pictured it. So I had the hunger to continue making comics. So I went out and made another comic called The Port, and that got me into comic conventions, and I started selling, and I started doing pretty well. You know, I'd break even. You know, I would print up
Yeah.
like 50 copies, sell 50 copies, and be like, yeah, you know, I have all my table money back in my hand, and like in the, you know, people are starting to, you know, and then I go to another convention and people will recognize me from the first one, so it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
And then
That that's
Brian,
awesome.
yeah,
How it's so different now from what the hustle we had to
oh
do,
yeah,
5 years ago
yeah,
to what we're doing now. It's
exactly,
crazy,
yeah. Everything like I said, everything changed form.
Hmm.
Like so, Indiegogo is the new artist alley.
Yep.
Twitter is the new what is it called? That's the new convention.
Yep.
You know, and just like the certain aspects just took on different forms. I feel, you know, like that's what I when I came back to it, because so I'm doing comics, and then I end up having kids, and had to, you know, comics are expensive, so I had to step away for a couple years, and
Yeah.
you know, then I came back to it, and the whole landscape changed, because this like last maybe like 3 years, it's like, oh wow, this is like CG was a thing, but it wasn't like what it is now, you
Right.
know. And I'm like, and so when I came back, I was like, oh, these are supposed to be the bad guys. And then I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna keep an open mind. I'm gonna keep an open mind, and I have that. You know, I always respect people, and I never disrespect until I get disrespected, you know, and just
Sure.
like, and everyone, I mean, that's just normal, and everyone was really cool, everyone was welcoming, and then you find out that it's just not a bunch of white dudes, it's a bunch of everything, you know,
Yeah.
from men, women, you know, even some youngsters, and just all kind of, you know, and nothing matters but comics. I'm like, damn, this is where I want to be, because I'm just about you know, writing comics, and I want people to like the story. I don't want people to like it because like I'm a Mexican American writer. I don't want that. I just want you to enjoy the story, or if it's not your thing, you know, like enjoy someone else's story or something. And the next comic I come out with, maybe you'll enjoy it. So
For
it's
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
it's a
I actually got a real tan this weekend, so to
yeah. I
try to
saw you.
show
You
my
were driving
my half.
cars like Fast and the Furious, man.
Yeah. So I got the tan to in an attempt to try to show my half Mexican side, so I can get some more backers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for
You
sure.
just got to come out with it in Spanish, bro. I was joking yesterday because I'm like, man, because they're like, you're like half Mexican. I was like, no, hold up. I can't really roll the R's that much. So,
Yeah, I can't speak
you
English.
know, like I'll get called as a fraud. But
I barely speak English. No, that's an awesome story, man. I did the same thing. I went to conventions um, a while ago with our first stuff, and it's a hustle, man. I so prefer this stuff because
yeah,
you have everybody has their own channel. You get fans, they tune in, they learn about you, and they come back. When you're at a
yeah,
convention, it's like, you talk for maybe 5 minutes with a person. That's if they're like interested in your stuff, right? You
yeah.
can keep them at the table and tell them about yourself. But most most of the time, it's like you're trying, hey, you want to hear about my comic? And they're like, no. And then it's like, oh,
It's true.
okay,
It's
have
true.
a
You
good
got to
day.
disguise it. What I would do, my hustle would be because prior to comics, I used to be one of those solicitor guys, you know. So I used to have like a backpack full of stuff made in China and just go into nail salons and you
Oh
know.
yeah, yeah,
So I would just and the key is what I did is I had a display. A display comic. So when you're walking by, I'm like, "Hey, man, that's a nice shirt." Or "How's your con going?" You know, I stop them with that because normally people, especially comic book consumers, they're pretty kind and they're pretty courteous. And then when they answer me, you know, because I would really talk about something I'm interested in. You know, if a guy had a Punisher shirt, I'm like, yo, I love that Punisher shirt. Hey, check this
yeah,
out. Boom. And then what I do is I put the comic in their hand and they're looking at it. Right, and then right when they look like they're interested, or you know, there's like a gauge on it, you know,
yeah,
and then right when they seem like they're kind of interested, or they're gonna pass it up, I either take it away if they seem like they're not interested, because the natural response is to like, no, that's mine, you know. So it's like,
yeah,
okay, so I'll take it away and be like, hey man, this one has fingerprints all over it. Let me get you a new one,
yeah.
and it's either yes or no, and that seemed to work for me. That was good. Or some people were just like, how much for the shirt too? Because I was having shirts printed, and so
Yeah,
I would have a comic and a shirt for like $20. And I'm like, dude, you can't beat that. You know, I was like, the
yeah,
shirt's 20. I'll throw in the comic for free. And everyone was like, oh, okay. You know, so I enjoyed the hustle because I would stand in front of the table. And another thing too, a lot of guys are behind the table and they're drawing and they're kind of introvert. Me, I'm in front of the table. I'm like, here,
yeah.
hey, what's
It
going on? I'm
closes
like,
them off if they're behind the table.
yeah, because
That was
it's
well done.
when you're in front of the table, they're less likely to walk away from you. If you're behind the table, they're like, no, no, I'm good, thank you, bro, and then keep going.
Yeah,
So
yeah, sure.
yeah,
We got J Money in the chat. What's up, J Money?
hey, what's going on,
Simon Simpotier.
the
What's up,
man?
brother? Yeah, and Passion. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Talking to Richard about his new book. Yeah, let's get into this book, brother. The Last Goodbye.
So the last goodbye is about a character named Edgar, and you kind of see how he becomes a bad guy, and later in life he is having second thoughts about being this bad guy. And the last goodbye is basically his last goodbye to being this bad guy, being this guy that's out there in the streets collecting money, doing whatever he's paid to do. You know, whether it's collecting money, whether it's delivering money, he's about it. So
Damn. Sounds like a hard ass.
yeah, well, I mean, you find out that he didn't start out that way. It was circumstances that made him that way,
Yeah.
and so he's looking for he's not happy about it, and he wants to. He's looking for redemption. He's looking for a way to make things right. So,
Nice.
and then
Nice. So
go
so
ahead.
this seems like a really gritty kind of very character driven story.
Yeah, yeah. So when I was like, okay, I'm gonna write my first comic book, I was like, how long should I make it? And I looked online. It's like how many pages are comics? And one thing I should have did more research, but it said 33 pages. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do 33 pages. You know, I
Yeah.
should I should have done more because you know normal comic books are like 22, 24
Sure.
for like floppy issues. So, but it worked out in my favor. So, you know, I did 33, and I was like, okay, actually it was 32. So I was like, I got 32 pages to play with.
Yeah.
What should I how should I make this happen? And I ended up making it in 33. So and I kind of knew what I wanted in the beginning. I kind of knew what I wanted in the end. In the middle, I kind of like it was like almost like a freestyle. You know, I kind of filled it in as I went. Took things out, put things in, sharpened things up. Then I sent it to the editor, and he was Dane Lamont. He's an awesome dude. So when he gets my script, he just looks at it, it's like, hey, I know what you're trying to communicate. Let's do this because it's not coming off clear. And so he like me and him, we got a good vibe, and he just vibes off what we need to make the whatever I'm trying to communicate clear to the reader. Because
Yeah.
when we're writing stuff, I find like we know all the answers because we know all the backstories, we know everything's going on, and sometimes we fail to put things on paper. And that's where Dane's like, hey, you said this, you might want to elaborate this in a couple panels before, or set it up, so you can execute it a little better. And that's what I was learning too. So
Yeah, man, everything in comics. I think this is going to happen until we die. Every moment in comics is a learning experience. As
yeah,
we're going along creating this stuff.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's which is pretty awesome because coming back to comics, it's a new start because it's a new frontier, but it's not too new. There's some things I don't have to learn because I already learned them, and
yeah,
especially
sure.
when you invest your own money into the project and you make mistakes, it costs you money. So I equate that as education. I'm paying for my education. I'm paying my dues, like literally. So it's a good thing. I love it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the last goodbye, guys. It's looking pretty awesome. What's happening here in this scene? Who's this guy that's getting his face jacked up?
So this is like a couple of the opening pages, and basically, that Edgar came to collect, and he doesn't like asking once, not even twice. He
Yeah,
doesn't like asking once, bro. Like if he doesn't like to be bothered. So if he comes out there, like it's this guy's been ducking some people. So Edgar's the last resort. That's the dude that the it's over. It's a wrap. So
that's awesome. So what is can you talk about like the antagonist of this story? It seems like Edgar's working with some rough people, working for them, and then it says he has a kind of a change of heart. He wants to switch things around. What is kind of the threat in this story?
so there isn't like I would say circumstance of life is
Yeah,
the is it. There's not a certain character that's a baddie in here. It's just uh the circumstances that he created are his own enemies. The alliances that he made are
yeah,
his own enemies, and that's where. So there is a group that he works with, but that's just it's his choices that is the bad guy. If we were like have to label a bad guy, it's his choices, it's his mistakes, it's his not trying to find another way to learn. But I don't want to give too much away because it goes pretty quick. And I really it's one of those stories where I just want to put it in your hand, and I just want you to enjoy it, and you tell me what you feel about it. And so that's why I was like, okay, hopefully. So when I released it the first time too, it was just inks. It didn't have colors. So I found a colorist, Magnai, out of the Philippines, and man, he really did the book justice. He really made it a easy sell.
yeah.
So
That's the amazing thing about comics. It could look totally different, black and white, and then with colors, and you get a good colorist on that. It just enhances everything.
yeah, yeah,
I
it's
think,
it's it's night and day.
yeah, we had that. I mean, everything. I've been working on lately. Magic Cop was, took a total 180 once we got colors onto those
Uh
initial
huh.
pages, and we're like, man, we can actually sell this thing. Uh, it's just so cool when you see everything come together. It's like, an orchestra
Yeah,
playing together, for sure. All these people collaborating on
yeah,
on everything.
definitely.
So for this character, is this going to be an ongoing series? You want to come back to the character and see how he grows, or is this going to be a one shot?
So yeah, it's definitely a one shot. This is his story in this story. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I didn't when I was writing this, I wanted a complete story, and that is satisfying. And I was influenced by a guy named so my buddy, he does like art, and then my first convention like working was helping my buddy out, and we were sitting next to this guy named Sean Granger, and
Hmm.
Sean Granger was I want to call him like a veteran in the artist alley. Like he had his everything he had, like he was doing it for a while, and he had his comic book, he had his pitch, he had all the items on the table all laid out. He had, a lot of things I took from him, or he taught me. And
Yep.
one of the things he said is, he says, you know what, I have this book, and it's by that time it's a graphic novel. He's on, I leave it with a cliffhanger, and now I can't finish the book because the artist isn't available, this and that. And he's like, I really wish I would have just made a complete story. It's just
Yeah.
like, so I sell that there's no hey, when's this coming out, because then I'm disappointing people. And so I was like, oh man, I took that to I took that and put that in the bank. I was like, man, if I come out with something, I got to make it a complete story. So, you know, and with that, I didn't even leave a door open for the universe. It was just, this is what it is. This is Edgar's story. Like I said, you see how he gets to be the bad guy, and that's So we're seeing young Edgar, and we're seeing him in later in life as well. So
That's awesome. I give you props on doing that because you don't see that. Just one shots.
yeah,
Everybody, and it has its pros and cons, but for a story to be complete when you get your hands on it, that's awesome because I don't want to be waiting around, especially if you're doing something on Indiegogo.
uh
I
huh,
don't want to have to wait, 6 months to a year for another installment of that story arc. So much of comics ingrained into our minds as readers and the public's mind is like, okay, it's a monthly thing. You go every week, you go to the store, you pick up a thing. It's episodic. It's like a
yeah,
television show. But now, a lot of people are doing it independently, doing it on crowdfunding. And when I get it, I want a good chunk, and I don't want to have to wait like a year to get the next installment, which sometimes we have to.
yeah,
Everyone's busy,
definitely,
works at their own pace, and that's where we are right now. But I think one shots are a great idea. You're introduced to a character, and you get a full wrapped up story, and that's something we're not seeing a lot. Everybody's doing those the series style stuff.
yeah,
So props, man. I dig that.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's I thought when I went, because like, not only am I a creator, as you are too, you're also a fan. So it's like, what would I
Yep.
like? What would I buy? Because I would never try to sell something that I wouldn't buy myself. And I was like, well, that'd be cool. Just a one shot, and like, that's it. And then it's on to the next story. And two, because like, creating stuff, I like to jump around. Like, I want to do a horror book, I want to do a sci-fi book.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
be stuck and married to a certain character. That's like a lot of commitment. That's, 'cause that's a lot of commitment. That's a lot of money. And so yeah, this worked out good for me. And another thing too, I have other projects in the works, but I just don't really talk about them because I try to get everyone excited about this project until
For
this is
sure. Yeah.
funded. And one of the reasons why I chose this project is because the artwork's already done. So that was like a
Ooh,
stress
that's
relief.
good.
So it's like, okay, look at, I'm campaigning, the artwork's done. I'm waiting for colored pages to come in, and then I just put Eric Weathers on lettering. So, because
Sweet,
the
man.
first time I lettered it myself, and there was a lot of mistakes. Again, live and learn. So
Hmm.
I was just like, you know what? I dazzled it up with the colors. Just go full steam ahead.
Man, I
Like,
love this
just
cover, man. The
yeah.
the
Thank you.
the colors on this cover are great.
Yeah, Brian knocked it out. Both Brian's. They're both named Brian, so it's So the
That's awesome.
Brian's knocked it out, and it was great because so I call Brian Brindley. I'm like, hey man, do you still have the inks? And he's old school. He does everything off the like, all by hand,
Yeah,
still,
traditional.
and scans it. Yeah. So he was like, let me look for it. And then he's like, yeah, I found them. I was like, hey man, I'm gonna do a campaign. I'm gonna get it colored. So he's like, oh okay. And so he's looking at artwork from 2013, and
Yeah.
he was like, hold on, I'm gonna touch this up. And then he touched a lot of things up because he's like, I don't. He's like, I don't feel comfortable letting this go. So he added some touch ups to it, and pages were taking not a long time, but they were he was it wasn't in one day. He was 5 pages here, 5 pages here, and when he got time, and he was
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I was like, Brian, you made him look prettier because the original cover, the guy's kind of ugly, So
No, yeah,
I
it looks
thought
good.
that
It's
was
a
kind
very,
of
very classic cover. I think it's perfect for the book and very striking. Logo's
yeah.
sick. We got Pedro in the chat. What's up? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, if you guys
Good
haven't
evening, good
already,
evening.
hit that like button and sub to the channel. We're sitting down with Richard talking about The Last Goodbye, his new book on Indiegogo.
So another thing too, because I like to I like to keep my customers happy. So
Yeah.
one thing I had, because I've done comics in the past, so I was like, you know what, I have this comic called Whisper,
Hmm.
and Whisper is a 5 page digital comic that I just, I had a story. I was like, that'd be cool, and I did it, and I'm actually, when the campaign ends, all the backers are gonna get an email with Whisper in it, so they
Oh,
get a little
nice.
cool 5 page comic. It's like I want to say a psychological horror comic,
Nice.
and it's basically about a guy that hasn't slept in a couple weeks, and he keeps hearing this voice, and the voice tells him to do stuff.
That's
So,
pretty cool.
and I was like, how would a sleep deprivation be? Like, because at the time I was working a lot of hours, and I would go home and just have weird thoughts, nothing like psycho or nothing, just like, did I lock this? Did this and that? And does my mom love me? It's just weird stuff.
No,
So I
dude,
was like,
that's awesome. We're like, I dig that you're giving people stuff and kind of like hold
yeah,
them over, um, little comic so people can know your writing style and
yeah,
the different styles that you could write in. I dig that.
yeah, yeah. It's all about getting people excited,
Yeah, yeah.
like this comics is entertainment. You got to get people excited. You got to get people happy. You got to get them ready to go, ready to spend. Because when they spend money on me, I want it to be a pleasant transaction. I want it to be like, yeah, that guy's a good dude, and I got my money's worth. And I feel that's how you brand yourself. It's like, yo, that guy is he's good business.
Oh, for
He always
sure.
disappoints. I mean, he never disappoints.
Right.
So
Yeah, look, you sold out your early bird combo, man. Comes with that sick
yeah,
shirt. Let's show everybody that shirt.
yeah. Shout out to Bow Down Clothing. They're gonna be making the shirt, and I was just like, like I was taking it back to the the convention days where I could do a comic and a
Yeah.
shirt for a certain amount of money, and I just threw in the campaign stickers because like that I thought that was kind of kind of cool. It's like it's an adult comic, but you're getting stickers for it and stuff like that. It's like the novelty of it. So
Yo, dude, people love that stuff.
yeah,
Like the more like, there's people that'll just back campaigns because they like the swag, right?
yeah.
So stickers, they go a long way. We got them on the Lost pages as well. Now, does everybody get stickers, or are they
Every
add-ons?
backer gets those 30
Nice.
stickers.
That's beautiful, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's take a look at the tiers that you got up here because you got it, pretty simple with this stuff.
So what I
So
wanted to do
yeah,
is reward people. The more they buy, the more they get. The more I could cut deals.
yeah,
So with the covers, the early bird special that was to get the ball rolling. So with the covers and shirt combo, it's $40. That's basically a shirt for 20, and then the books for 10 a piece, plus some stickers. So and the digital comic that's been
nice,
added.
nice, nice.
And
Yeah,
so
and then this is your standard cover plus
Yeah,
the stickers for $15. That's great, man.
yeah, yeah, and it's gonna be printed at Mixum. So we're printing in the USA. I'm looking at uh 100 stock for the cover and 80 stock gloss for the insides and gloss laminate for the cover.
That's
So it's
perfect,
gonna have
man.
a
We printed Magic Hop with Mixum. They're super professional.
yeah,
Their quality is unmatched. They have so many awesome options you can go through with the pages and the covers, like you're talking about. And if you guys are watching right now, thinking about getting this book, uh, definitely do so because Mixum is some of the best comic printers that I've ever seen.
yeah. I want peace of mind. That's why I'm going out and getting Eric Weathers. That's why I'm going to mix them. I just want peace of mind. I want quality
Yeah,
because there's no better way to make an impression than the first impression. And I feel that my name and my brand is on the line, and so I want to deliver to the fullest.
yeah,
Especially
man,
if,
yeah.
if you're investing in me and a backer, you're gonna get treated and spoiled. And I want to create a fun, exciting experience.
Right. And another thing to get people excited about this, like all the art is done, like you said, it's getting colored
Yeah,
right now. So you should have no problem delivering on time. And I would suggest even um, keeping this, you have a long way to go still. You got, I think, like 28 days left.
yeah. We're in the
And you're
last 30.
79% funded, which is awesome. Great
Yeah, we're going into
progress.
on demand too to
Yeah.
make
So
sure.
once you do in demand and you start shipping them out, a little pro tip is overprint and then keep the Indiegogo in demand even when you're shipping out because people will see that their buddies are getting the comic and they're going to want to get it because they see that you have fulfilled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and you're absolutely right. Everyone has told me that, and then even me being a customer, I was like, okay, it's a safe bet, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna get it faster
Yep.
because some people, paying for it and then waiting is they want it right now. They want like Amazon,
Yeah.
because we're
Yeah.
we're conditioned to that. So
Sure, sure. Yeah, so we got the cover combo, which is, the regular cover and the variants, which is awesome. Comes with the stickers as well. The standard with the shirt. So that's you get the standard book and then that alternate cover as the shirt, which is pretty awesome.
yeah,
Or you can get the matched up
both and both.
shirt and variant combo. Yeah, these are great perks. And then what's this personalized cover?
So this is something that people have been telling me no one has done before.
Yeah,
So basically, you pay, and I dropped it. It was from at 500. So this is a real steal. This is 150. It's a one of one
yeah.
comic book. So you tell me what you want on the cover. I give it to Brian. Brian draws it. Then Brian colors it. And then we send it to the printer. And you have your one of one last goodbye. Like, I don't even have this comic. You'll have this comic.
Dude, that's
And
insane.
and it's just to get people inside. And also with this, like it's to give Brian and the artist the team a little bit more money.
Yeah, it's a little
So
bonus for him. I dig that, man.
yeah, so a little extra in their pocket because that money is basically just the artist cost and the printing cost.
Wow. Yeah, guys. So if you're digging this comic, this is the way to go, man. You get one of one personalized. You're giving the art team a boost, a little bonus there, and that's gonna be like, number one collectability there.
Yeah, yeah. I don't even have it, so
Yeah, that's gonna be
I might
insane.
have to buy that perk and print one up for myself and or
Wow.
print two up for both my kids and put it in the safe. And I like betting on myself. So
Yeah, man. That's crazy. But you guys definitely check that out. That's really cool. Haven't seen anyone do that yet. Uh,
yeah, I
yeah.
think I think I might do that. I mean, it's not doing too well right now, of course, because no. But like I'm an unknown new creator to this
Yeah, as you
community.
grow, as you build the
Yeah.
fan base, man.
So once they see it delivered, once they see, that it's gonna come in a bag and board, it's gonna come in a Gemini,
Yep.
and I'm probably gonna put it in something else because I heard that Gemini's sometimes they can get water damage, so I want to put it in something that they can protect it from water as well.
Yeah.
And it's great with CG because you learn through others' mistakes, and it might not even be their mistake. So it's just you just learn how to avoid stuff that could damage your brand and damage your business. That's why I'm also printing extra just to, what, if something happens, I'll just ship you out another one right now.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah. That's what we did that.
yeah.
I think that we did that just only twice. One because someone stole the Magic Hop off of the guy's stoop, and then the other one is only one copy got messed up by someone's post office.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I just want a couple on deck and make sure everything's everyone's backed and everyone got their comic and they're happy. And then if there's any complaints, just DM me. I'll handle you direct, man. I'll take care of you.
for sure. Yeah, that's the great thing about Indiegogo. You could, directly email the creator of the project. You guys could talk back and forth.
Yeah.
I have some awesome fans that do that with me on the regular whenever they back something new on the campaign, which I'm super appreciated about. Indiegogo goes above and beyond for us creators, which is awesome. Uh, yeah, guys, this is looking like an awesome project. It's still in its youth and has a ways to go. So let's get it firstly to that funded point so we can
Yeah.
make it to 2K, so this thing could be real. And then let's just keep going from there.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
I told my backers already. It's guaranteed. So, of course, I want to get funded,
yeah,
and I expect to. I'm willing to put in the work and hustle, just like every other creator in CG. But it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. Like if you invested in me, I'm gonna take care of you. That's
yeah, look
just
at that flexible goal. So this is coming out no matter what. You guys don't have
yeah,
to, be worried about that. Petro says won't get more exclusive than that. Yeah, that
yeah,
awesome
definitely.
exclusive cover. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so if you don't mind, I was going to talk a little bit about my book and then we'll
Yeah,
do the little sign-offs, brother.
cool, cool.
Sweet. Yeah, so we got a little update from the Lost pages. Doing awesome, swimmingly once we are past 25K, which is amazing. Thank you everybody out there who backed the book. But we put out this pretty cool updates this week. It is one of the panels from the newest story in our bonus comic, the last story in our bonus comic, which is our new character, Matt Black. And she's this college student who is figuring out where she belongs in the world, and she figures out she's got superpowers. She can make these, different weapons and objects out of this black kind of symbiote goo, kind of like Venom. So
Nice.
this is her kind of realizing it for the first time, like what the hell's going on? She can't control her powers. Really wanted to make it kind of like that '90s young X-Men character who doesn't really know where they belong in their lives. So, if you guys have not already, definitely back the Lost Pages. We have a crazy, um, crazy genre of cast of characters here, going through different genres, and it's building up a huge, awesome, awesome universe. And I can't, begin to explain how ecstatic we are about putting all this stuff out. It's gonna be cool, man. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, the
Oh, and
book
this
looks
is getting
amazing.
colored also. This is I don't know if you saw this, Richard, but we're doing this bonus comic, and Joe Ball did this double page wraparound cover for it with all the characters on it.
Man, it looks amazing. I mean,
It's
when you came on my show, I was like, damn, this comic it's a whole universe in one book,
yeah,
and different artists and different. It's just, it was definitely cool, man.
it's a lot to manage and kind of like
Yeah,
puzzle piece around, but I think we got it, man. I think we're coming out with something that people are going to enjoy, and I really hope they do because we want to be doing this for a long time with this series. You just see the characters we've put together on this double page, and there's even more in the universe that we're not going to even dip into in this project in this book. But
Right.
this is going to be really really something crazy, and this piece is getting colored up right now. I can't wait to see that colored. And here's that chick we were talking about earlier, Matte Black. She's kind of like in her vigilante outfit. She's got
Yeah.
some of the swords that she makes out of the
That looks
goo.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and then her mask is made of that goo also to hide her identity. Yeah,
Yeah.
Joe killed it. Illustrator Monk's killing it. Having just a blast. I did some letters last night on it, which I was so excited to get back to lettering it. And yeah, if you guys spread the word around, every bit helps with the Lost Pages because when we get more backers, then more eyes get on it, and we can bring you even cooler stuff. And that's what it's all about here, is bringing these stories to you guys. That's why I do it, man.
Yeah. It looks
Yeah,
great. That
thanks,
I
brother.
I kind of made a commitment to myself that like, okay, I can't back anything until I get this delivered, but I'm like regretting it, and so I'm like, oh man,
Now, dude, I
because
know
I
how
got
that
to
is,
pay off.
man.
I got to pay off my artist. I got to make sure everything's right. The
Yeah.
first backer is me. I'm paying.
and
I'll
and
make
I
sure
know you
everyone's.
I know brother as well as anybody because I'm a writer myself. Paying these artists,
Yeah.
the money is worth it.
Uh huh.
And
You keep them happy. Like your word is their quality. Like if you say you're gonna be on this on time, and they'll
for
it's
sure.
weird. I think it's like a more like a respect thing. Like by paying everyone on time, people feel respected,
Yeah.
and then they respect your passion, they respect your project, and they'll go that extra mile just for you because you gave them that respect, and they didn't have to ask for it and
Oh
have this
yeah.
awkward conversation like, when's the next payment coming? So
Right. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that sometimes doesn't allow us to get the books that we want to, but they'll be there. They'll be in demand. That's the beautiful thing about Indiegogo, man. They'll
cool,
be in
cool.
demand. Uh, yeah, brother, Rich, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you
Um,
for having me, man. I
yeah,
really appreciate that.
yeah, it was a good stream. I hope everybody in the chat enjoyed it, and people watching later on, definitely check out the link. It's in the description below for the last goodbye, along with a bunch of other links you guys could go check out. And where can people find you, brother?
I'm on Twitter, Richard.
Yeah,
That's I think that's where I'm most active is Twitter, and then they can also check out the Forest Publishing LLC YouTube. We stream. We're trying to stream every Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then Saturdays and Fridays we're kind of like floater days.
yeah.
Which whoever is available. So we love to have artists come on and creators come on, and and just talk comics, promote comics, and just have a good time. So yeah, that's generally where you'll find me.
Awesome, brother. Yeah, so everybody in the chat, if you guys love gritty comics, I think this one is going to be the one to pick up. I mean, look at the covers, the colors in this, the art. Um, just hearing about this style, and I love the fact that it's a one shot, so you could pick it up, read it, and put it on your shelf. Um, know that it is a front to back story that you're not going to be waiting for any other parts of this story. So check it out. It's on Indiegogo right now. The link is in the description below. And let's get it to that goal, that 2K, because
Yeah,
this baby is coming out. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hit that bell so you know when we're going live. And check out the other videos. Leave comments on some of the other videos. Do you like the stuff we're putting out? Let us know. And check out the Lost pages because we're going to be showing a lot of awesome stuff this week. We got some colors in that tomorrow we'll be throwing up on Twitter. So if you guys love that wild card character, this guy here, Joe Ball's wild card art, then you're going to love that cover that we're going to be showing off tomorrow. So Stay tuned, and we will catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning.